Deadwax. What's up, all you Fresno Nightwalkers, and welcome to the Deadwax Show. Y'all better go down out of the groove and get into the Deadwax. I am Waffles, also known as Chicken and Waffles Forever, and today I am joined by my older brother and best friend, the Stooge, also known as Vinyl Stooge. My man, how are you here on this day?
I'm doing good, Waffles. I also go by L Stooge for all our Hispanic listeners. Mm-hmm. So L Stooge works as well.
Do you go by Le Stooge for our French listeners?
No.
Oh, we don't respect them. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we don't respect them. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Anyways, they've got good fries though. I'll tell you that much.
The bread is so good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and toast. They got good toast.
Yes. Have you ever seen the movie Better Off Dead with John Cusack from the 80s?
No.
Fantastic movie. Super dark comedy. But there's a part where his mom has a French family over for dinner, and she serves French fries, French bread, and French toast. And she gets a bottle of Perrier, the water, and she goes, and lastly to drink, Peru. And it like in my head forever and ever. So funny. We'll do an episode. Oh my gosh. We should do an episode about 80s soundtracks. That'd be a fun one.
Yeah.
Because 80s movies had the best soundtracks. Yeah, dude.
We need to do just a soundtracks episode in general.
We should do a soundtrack series where we go through like decades or genres of movies. That'd be way fun. All right, everyone, you've just heard the schedule for the next 25 episodes of the Deadwax Show.
We're going to go through all the different decades.
Go through every decade, starting at the 40s and moving to now. It's going to be great.
So I'm just going to continue on. My week has been really busy.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff going on in life right now. Personal things in social media. We had the Royal Rumble yesterday. Got to mention that.
How did that go?
Great. The show wasn't super cool. I mean, it was all right, but wrestling fans, everyone has their own opinion. But we did a wrestling pool. We did where everyone chips in money, and whoever they have entrance into the Royal Rumble. And my number is the number of the entrant who won the whole thing. So I won some money. It was great.
No freaking way.
Made the whole night really cool. So
that's way sick.
That was probably the highlight of my week.
Yeah, man. I like, how do you get better than that? Especially
I know. I think I'm going to go gamble now. Where can I gamble in Utah?
Wendover.
Okay.
It sucks. Everything smells like cigars, but you can gamble. So
I'll just wear a mask.
Maybe we should just go to Vegas instead. It's just as far of a drive.
Speaking of Vegas, I'll be going to Vegas this coming weekend. So
no way. What are you doing?
So part of my family. So just to pull back the curtain a little bit. I have a grandma who is terminally ill with cancer right now.
Oh,
and so she just went on hospice last week, and she's probably not going to be around much longer. So she lives in California, in Fresno. My in-laws live in Las Vegas. So to break the long drive from Salt Lake City to Fresno up, I go halfway to Vegas, stay the night at my in-laws, my mother-in-laws. And then the next half of the trip, I make the next day to Fresno. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So it's not like a super hurrah, fun, exciting reason to go. But, I got to do it.
For sure.
I want to definitely say, goodbye. So sorry to bring the whole tempo of the show down.
It's okay.
But that's just a peek into what's going on with me this week, like planning that, dealing with that emotionally.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's your week. But on the way, I fully plan on hitting up a few of my favorite record store locations.
There you go.
And seeing some old friends while I'm in Fresno as well. So it's going to be cool.
Great. We do joke a lot on the pod, and we talk about a dead medium on disco frisbees. But let me tell you something. We are real people with real lives. So we got stuff, plenty of stuff. We have a whole different podcast called The Sadwax Show, and it's just us talking about our problems at a Taco Bell somewhere. So, yeah.
That would be Talk About It. That would be our next podcast.
Yes, talk about it. It's
eat
the after
tacos
show.
And share our feelings.
It's the Deadwax Show after show. Talk about it. That sounds way fun, actually.
Talk about Deadwax.
And it would just be us saying something really sad and depressing, and then we just talk about tacos for like 10 minutes straight. Yeah.
Just drown my tears in nachos.
which has shockingly happened a lot whenever we hang out. So whatever, it'd be nothing for us. But yeah, that's a lot going on. But hopefully, like you said, it would be awful to have missed that. So that's what you got to do.
Yep. All right, let's get into the show. Unless you got anything to share from your week.
I got one cool thing that I'm very excited about.
Is it the blankie?
It's the blanket. Can I get it? Can I show? Okay.
Yeah, you can go get it. Yeah, so
here we go.
He posted something on his stories last night.
You guys,
I got something really cool I want to show you guys.
I've been really excited.
It's a blankie.
So it's no secret. If you follow me on social media, I'm obsessed with this band called Soft Kill. And they're like The Cure, but in the modern day. And they're just phenomenal. Anyway, Soft Kill does this thing that I can't describe the genius of it, where they will make anything into merchandise. They make socks, they make camo hats, they make anything you can think of. Well, Soft Kill made a blanket, and I lost my mind when I saw that it was a thing. So I was like, I don't care what it costs. I'll happily go into massive debt for this. It wasn't even that bad, but it arrived yesterday, and it is so beautiful. It's fake quilted. It's just a print on a blanket. But oh my gosh, you guys, can you see the Soft Kill logo?
I can see the Soft Kill logo. Yeah. I'm surprised you're not just using it. Just lay it across your lap. I wish I had a blanket right now. My legs are a little cold. I'm wearing shorts.
I'm a blanket fool. I love blankets. I love blankets.
Blankets are great.
I love blankets, man. I was that kid. Like growing up, I had a blankie that I took everywhere, and my grandma made it for me. And even to this day, to get a whiff of that thing could heal any problem I have. Like it would be some kind of magical formula where I could sniff that blanket and I would no longer have generalized anxiety. Like that.
It calms you.
I love blankets. So I'm very stoked on that.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
Let's talk about the show, though.
All right, let's talk about it.
We'll do a blanket episode in the future, I promise. And I'll just go over to Stooge's house and I'll snuggle up in the blanket and then we'll just talk about blankets for a while.
Yep. I love for blankets.
So Stooge and I had this bomb idea for actually like not just this episode, but maybe
Well, before you go into that,
right.
Let's talk about some breaking news real quick.
My bad. We have some breaking news to talk about.
I mean, I don't know how much it's breaking. It's a couple weeks old now, but
it's breaking.
It's new. It's current events.
Mm-hmm.
I got to get a banner. It goes across current events with Waffles.
Just a running banner.
Stooge. Yeah, yeah. On this, I can actually add a banner, where like on CNN,
like a constant scroll.
Yeah. So maybe we should utilize that, and I should put like follow our social medias and
it's just you giving thoughts about me the entire time. Yeah. It just says
breaking news.
Yeah.
Stooge gets kill soft blankie.
It's Soft Kill.
What did I say?
Kill soft. Kill soft is what the Fugees sing about. Anybody?
I'm not getting it.
Killing Me Softly?
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so there's something that we want to talk about that is currently, thriving as a topic in the vinyl community. And that is When We Were Young Fest, which, if you do not know, is a festival happening in October in Vegas. Okay.
It goes by many names. Emochella.
We also have Scene Kid Tanacon.
Emo Warped Tour.
Warped Tour was emo. But this is also known as Emo Fire Fest. Because
Emo Fire Fest.
So just very quick backstory. A couple weeks ago, they announced this festival, and it has 65 bands playing at it. And a lot of these bands are very high profile. Also, like My Chemical Romance, Paramore, A Day to Remember. For emo kids, high profile.
There you go.
Thanks for example, My Chemical Romance, they only reunited 3 years ago and have played one show since. Paramore hasn't played a show in 5 years. So it's like a big deal that these bands are playing this. And not just those bands that you saw like Hot Topic, but a lot of bands also that were big back in the day are opening for them. Some have reunited just for this festival. Some really don't play together anymore. So it was kind of like shocking.
It's a big deal in the emo community.
Big deal for the emo kids, for the scene kids. It was a big deal. But here's the thing, why we're calling this like Emo Fire Fest. Because when you do a little bit of digging, a lot of it just didn't really make sense For example, 65 bands were all playing in one day. This was
One
just
day.
on October 22nd. And yes, that's awesome. And Warped Tour used to have just as many bands, and it was all in one day. However, Warped Tour is playing across 6 or 7 stages. This only has 3. And this is only open for 12 hours that day in Vegas on the fairgrounds. So that's also just a little bit of cause for concern. Tickets were also a lot of money.
Got 65 bands.
65 bands.
They got to eat.
And this is where people were like, it's like Warped Tour. Warped Tour was like $40. This was $250 before fees to get into this. And so it's a little bit like, it's not the same. Anyway, so there was a little cause for concerns. And man, on TikTok, on Twitter, on Instagram, people had their opinions. You could not escape this. Like, I'm an emo kid. I love talking about it. Even I was like, dear Lord, everyone stop talking. I get it. Like, if you want to go, this is my thing. This is just my attitude toward life. I don't like what I don't like. I do like what I do like, but I don't care what you want to do. Go do whatever you want to do. But a lot of people were taking this attitude like, it is my job to shut down emo Coachella. So anyway, right before tickets went on sale for this event, they added a second day. And that was a big deal because it was like, whoa, okay, because, that was a big concern. All those bands in one day, only 3 stages. How are they going to do it? Adding a second day, you go, oh, okay. That causes, a little bit of help. But here's the thing that's also weird. It's the exact same lineup the second day. So all 65 bands are going to play the second day. That's when it was like,
So it's not 2 days then. It's like they're doing 2 shows essentially.
Yep.
And you can go to one or the other.
And if you do the math with all the bands, imagining there's no problems, no technical problems whatsoever, that there's no issues with the crowd, most bands will get 20 minutes to play. And that's for, an average of 3 to 4 minute songs, it's like 4 songs a band. So you have a lot of bands who were huge 20 years ago that are now going to play 4 songs in Vegas. And then, so that was a little bit crazy. Adding a second day, there's not a lot of times. There was some issues with people understanding how Live Nation events work. Well, one more thing got added that was like, this is insanity. It's insanity.
Insanity?
It's insanity. Insanity. They added a third day.
That's what I thought I heard about third day.
They added a third day out of nowhere. So already, I've done a lot of event coordination in my day. If you keep adding days randomly, that's not a good sign. Usually this stuff has to be planned out at least a year in advance. Uh-huh. So randomly adding days either is a great marketing move or something's up. But here's what's concerning about the third day. It's not 3 consecutive days. The third day is 6 days after the second day. So the event takes place on October 22nd and 23rd and 29th. So, and here's what they said. Same lineup. All 65 bands are scheduled to play the third day. So they're under the impression that all of these bands are either going to stay in Vegas for a week and then just play another 20-minute set, or they're going to do with Coachella, where they tour around Nevada for a week and then just come back.
That could be good for Salt Lake.
Could be good for Salt Lake. But here's the problem. With Coachella, you've got big name bands that are making a hot amount of money from something like this. We're talking emo kids right now. They're not going to be making loads of money. So I don't know. There's a lot about this. Oh, and another thing, really quick, is if you look for ticket options, the cheapest thing was just getting in the door, $250. But then you could do get a hotel package. You could get a drink pass, something like that. But the one thing that was this is insanity, was you could get a cabana, a private cabana,
That's
where
Vegas.
You could also have air-conditioned bathrooms. I must emphasize, you do not get an air-conditioned bathroom unless you pay for the cabana pass. The cabana pass was $12,500.
$12,500?
$12,000 in order to poop with a fan. So
worth it.
So that's why this is almost I don't know if this is gonna happen, because that's crazy. So anyway, if it happens, whatever, I am very happy for anybody that gets to go. If you had the money and got to go and got a ticket, good for you, man. That's awesome. I'm not trying to be a doomsayer for this event. I really do hope this event goes well, and because guess what? If it goes well, they might do another one in the future. And if they learn from the mistakes this time, might go better in the future, you know? So we'll see. Am I kind of mad that my, hesitations are stopping me from seeing some of these bands? Absolutely. But, it's whatever.
So you haven't bought tickets yet?
I don't have the money for tickets, Brent. It's a fortune.
Have you tried selling blood yet?
Yeah. Because I'm sitting here in this episode drinking a mango monster. They're gonna want my blood.
Give them the energy to recover from whatever happened.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. Because the other thing you have to consider, you have to pay for so much more than just getting in the door. You have to pay to get there, to sleep somewhere, to drive. Because also there's no parking at this event. You have to park somewhere else and walk and get around Vegas. So there's just lots to consider. It is not just $250 to go to this. It's an investment. So anyway,
well, lucky for me, I've got in-laws that live there. So,
are you going to go see My Chemical Romance and Bring Me the Horizon?
Hell no.
The other thing too is really quick. I've had lots of people reach out to me and say, I can't believe you're not going. Yeah, like you would move heaven and earth for some of these bands. And I'm trying not to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy. I've been into this style of music pretty much since I was 11 years old. So I've seen almost all of these bands already. So when people are like, can you believe My Chemical Romance is playing? I'll be like, they're like dads now in their 40s. And that's probably not going to be as great as you're hoping. So best of luck to you.
Lots of running eyeliner from all the sweat.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just a bunch of sweaty old fat guys got eyeliner going.
Why are they all crying?
They're not crying. They're one song in.
I know they're gassed out.
Exactly. But anyway, so we'll see how it goes.
So I've seen the poster, some of the lineup.
Yeah, horribly designed poster.
I want to say there was probably around 10 that I've heard of before.
Yeah.
But I want to say there's only 2 where it's okay, I wouldn't mind seeing them. I think those 2 were Car Seat Headrest.
Oh yeah, Car Seat Headrest.
I like to see them, but they're newer. They're not My Chemical Romance days.
Exactly.
And then the other one would be Dashboard Confessionals, and I could pass or take that. But
and Dashboard will, they're not exactly quiet. They'll come around anytime. So
okay, all right. So anyways, just interesting show.
It's crazy. Yeah.
I have no opinion on the matter because it's mostly a genre. It popped up on my radar, but it has no impact on me whatsoever.
It's all anybody talked about for a while. Luckily, the hype has died already, but it's pretty crazy.
Hype has died. Maybe the concert will die too. We'll see.
Fingers crossed. Anyway, that's enough on the old emo Coachella, emo Fire Fest, Scene Kid Tanacon. But let's go on to what Stooge and I wanted to talk about today. Now, I did kind of ruin it because I forgot we were talking about emo Coachella. But Stooge and I had this great idea for something that could be 2 or 3 episodes. But we want to make sure we give each section of this idea enough love and enough attention to make sure it makes sense. So we're talking about audio setups, which with records is kind of like everything, would you say?
Yeah, just our record player setups.
Yeah. If you don't have a good setup, the whole hobby sucks. So that's why no, it wholly sucks. But that's why we want to talk about it, is because we want to go over what we've had in the past, what we have now, what's worked for us, what hasn't worked, that kind of stuff, and maybe give a little bit of our wisdom and our expertise in the subject.
Yeah. And then also just kind of give just a small 101 intro to record player setup gear and some knowledge. Anyways.
Yep. So hopefully you do know some of the things we're talking about, or some of the brands we'll go over. But if you don't, that's totally fine. This is not a thing where only the cool kids know about this brand. It's not that serious. So we're just gonna go over what we have, what we like, things we can learn about, all that good stuff.
Cool. Sounds good.
Yeah, man. Let's do it. So, Stooge, where should we start?
So today, part 1 of this series, there's a whole lot of components that can go into people's record player setups. Everything from speakers, receivers, preamps, all sorts of stuff. What we're going to focus on today is specifically the turntable and kind of the components that are involved there. So that's where I want to start is with the turntable itself. The first thing I wanted to ask you, Chris, I think we've already actually mentioned this, and most of our more frequent listeners might already know.
Long-time listeners, our
Long time
fans.
listeners, yeah, all 12 episodes. I guess this is lucky 13. Anyways, I was gonna say, you and I have this basically the same turntable. We both have Audio Technica LP 120s. Mine's an XUSB. Which one? Oh, it's XUSB as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've got the exact same turntable.
Yep.
What I wanted to do before I got into the 101 part of things with turntables, or should we start with the 101 and then kind of talk why?
Let's start with 101. That's okay.
Logical. So 101. So let me get my notes here. Now I'm going to put a lot of these links, like stuff I referenced to make sure I had most of my information straight. I'll put that in the comment section. I don't know, the description section of the episode.
The audio description.
I got some links because there's a lot of good information. Yeah. And so when it comes to turntables, there's two basic types. There's other things. There's custom turntables. There's some really cool looking turntables out there too. Like, anyways, the two main ones though that most people will have is either a belt driven or a direct drive turntable.
Yep.
So the difference is like with belt, basically what it is, there's like a belt that goes between the main, I guess you call it the platter almost. Mm-hmm. And then another circle that then a motor that drives. I said a circle.
There's a circle.
They draw a circle on the table. There's a motor that then spins the belt, which spins the platter. And then you have direct drive, which is what the LP 120s are that we have. Yep. That is just a motor right underneath the platter itself and spins it. Yep. So those are the two basic. Like I said, there's there's some really cool stuff, but for like entry level, stuff, this is kind of what you're going to find for the most part. So what the pros and the cons of both, belt driven, what's really good about those, and this is really starting to split hairs for me. If you're like not an audiophile, like I'm not, a lot of this stuff doesn't matter, but technically, I guess a belt driven has better quality sound turntable because a lot of the resonance that's caused by the motor gets absorbed by the belt and then doesn't go into the platter, the record, and then through the needle and all that jazz. Whereas having the direct motor under the platter, I guess, does cause potentially more resonation that cause vibration or whatever. Yeah. Honestly, I don't have any problem with mine. I don't notice any noise, compared to anything else I've heard.
I've never had a belt driven turntable, and I've listened to them, but I don't see much of a difference myself. Yeah. However, I do know that belts are way easier to replace if there's an issue. Yeah. So if it does, turntables are expensive for sure. They're an investment, but they're not perfect. They're eventually going to have problems. You replace the belt so much easier than you replace an entire motor. So yeah, that is a big thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's another pro and con. So I mean, honestly, I think either way you go is going to be good.
They're both fantastic.
Yeah. So either way, you'll be good. Just, comes down to some of the other features that might be available on whatever model you're looking at. Yeah. That's the two basic type of turntables. I wanted to ask you now, kind of like your in chronological order, what are the turntables that you've had? Yeah. And then give me the reasons like why you bought them and what you were looking for that led you to them and stuff like that.
For sure. So when I started collecting in 2010, there was not in the resurgence of records. So it's not like you could find record players hardly anywhere. So when I told my parents when I was in high school, hey, I want to collect records, I think they're really cool, my sweet mother went to Kohl's and she found a turntable that was an Ion Profile Pro.
Oh, dang. Ion?
Yeah, Ion. Whoa. The great value of record players. But same thing, like there wasn't much else besides like Crosley that was like
probably Sony. I bet you Sony had one.
But they were expensive, so because people were still used to big turntable stuff. So the big thing with this record player is that you could, this is so 2010 saying it out loud, you could transfer your records into MP3s. So it would you could plug your laptop in and it would record your record playing and then you could play it on your iPod. So this
That's
was
what
under,
ours do too, right? The XUSB.
they can, but freaking who
does it?
that?
I know,
Yeah.
right?
So that was a big thing for me because I was like, I want, there's a lot of records that I was like, you can't digitize that yet. Same thing, different time. And so when I had that, I was so stoked on it. I used old stereo speakers we had. I had a really janky setup, but it worked for me.
Mhm.
And I really loved it. In fact, there's a lot of like, it's a good way of saying this. I learned a lot of trial and error about how to be a good record collector from having a not insane setup at first. That's
Mhm.
why whenever I've had people reach out and say they want to get into it, I always just say like, make sure you start on the less expensive end, because yes, it's not going to sound as great, but like you got to learn stuff by yourself before you start driving the Ferrari. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So that was the first one. I had that for years too. I never had to replace anything on it. It worked great. I never replaced the needle either, so that's probably a bad sign. But anyway, didn't know. And then after that, I just got sick of the setup because it was so much. There's so much stuff. And then I got a Victrola like 9-in-1. So it's like a record player, a CD player, a tape player,
A toaster.
a toaster. It
Easy
also
bake oven.
it bakes bread and it can slice ham, all at the same time.
Oh, a deli slicer.
It's a
too?
deli slicer as well.
Yeah, that's a really awesome record.
You can also cuddle with it. It's snuggly. So I got one of those because I'm such a dick. So get ready. When we hit the big streaming, everyone was streaming again. I still was like, no man, CDs.
No man,
CDs
physical
cool.
media.
I still had an iPod. Like
Like,
and this wasn't like 2010. We're talking 2015. And
mm-hmm.
so I was like, no man, my iPod's still cool. I sound like a Cartman from South Park. No man, my iPod's still cool.
Screw you guys.
Screw you guys. I'm going to iTunes. Anyway, so I had a Victrola, and also just for the sense of like cost, it wasn't that expensive. Mm-hmm. And I was a college student, so I couldn't afford a great, huge, big setup. And I moved around a lot too. So it was good to have like a smaller thing that already had built-in speakers. I don't love built-in speakers, I'll be the first to say it, but I didn't have a ton of money and I didn't have a ton of room. So I got, like, I'll be honest, I did get a little bit teased by people on the internet that I had a Victrola, but I wanted to be like, excuse me, if you're willing to buy me a new one, happily, then get me a new one. But like, I couldn't afford anything else. So I had that for a long time. I still have it actually. Just for whenever I need to play like tapes or whatever. but that's the only thing I've used it for. I never like touched the radio on it. I haven't listened to the radio in decades. Anyway, so then I did that, and then once I graduated college and had like steady income and also got one of them stimmy checks, I major upgraded the setup and got the Audio-Technica LP120 with bookcase speakers and everything like that.
Nice.
Now tell me your turntable journey.
So I've only been collecting for about 3.5 years. So my journey is pretty short. But when I first started getting into record collecting, I was very much just going to do it casually, not like to where it eventually evolved into
a podcast.
Yeah, exactly right. So I was like, I'm just going to buy one record a month. Just be very casual. I was mostly buying like, bargain bin kind of records. I didn't want to like $10 for a record. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
So that's where I was at when I bought my first record player. And what I got was actually an Audio-Technica LP60. And there's
you started out fine.
Many reasons for that. One is as a new collector, I found a lot of the record player setup somewhat intimidating. There's a lot of stuff about it. There's a lot of information and opinions on stuff, and I didn't really know, like, thinking about getting an LP 120 back when I first started just seemed kind of overwhelming to me. And so I reached out to my older brother, who's actually been collecting records for a long time as well, and that's where he also recommended I should start. So once again, I was just new into the hobby, didn't want to spend a ton of money. So I got my LP60, I want to say like for $130, $150, somewhere around there. Got it from a Best Buy for my birthday. And what I loved about the LP60 is there's a couple things. One was the automatic tone arm. Yep. That was great because you push a button, it puts itself down. When it's done, it picks itself up. I know there's cons to that, and that the tone arm's not a very good material.
Yep. I've had automatic tone arms before, though. They're great.
Yeah, and like they don't have a counterweight on the tone arm either, which at the time was a blessing because I think about like doing the tone arm and just it was once again that was part of what intimidated me.
If you're new to it,
and kept me away. Yeah, so I'm like, I just want something I can take out of the box, push play, and play my records without having to spend a fortune.
Yeah,
and the LP60 met that requirement, full force.
Absolutely.
And what was also great about the LP160 is it has a preamp in it as well. So I can just plug in a powered speaker and I'm good to go. I don't have to get a receiver. I don't have to get fancy speakers. So what I actually did use, it's funny you mentioned Ion. I have what's called an Ion block rocker.
Oh, that's funny.
It's one of those cordless speakers that it's big. And I just use an aux cable from the back of my record player, plugged into an aux of the speaker. And it of course, it's not going to sound great compared to someone who's got invested thousands of dollars in some audio setup, but it was good for me, especially starting off. I was really happy with the way it sounded. So that's where I started. And that's until about a year ago, that's what I was using. But then I got to the point where my collection continued to grow. I continue to get slowly but surely more addicted to record collecting. And I thought, you know what? I want to invest in and I got more comfortable with the hobby as well. So I'm like, let's upgrade, let's get into something a little, more that I want. I don't want to say better because like if you're a casual collector, like LP60s are fine. Like I haven't done a whole lot of research. I understand that it, maybe because once again, the tone arm's not weighted. It just kind of, I'm sure they balance it into a certain given amount of error range for it to lay down on the record without completely damaging your records.
Yeah.
But so like, I think overall the LP60 is fine and it won't destroy your records in the long run. Now that's me saying it without doing a whole lot of research or testing myself. But I had mine for a while and all my records still play fine on my LP120. So like if you're just casual and if you don't, if that's what you can afford, I think LP60 is a great place to start.
Absolutely.
And totally fine. You don't have to upgrade if you don't want to. But I wanted to. And that's when I moved up to the LP 120. And what made me want to get into that is one, I wanted better components on my record. And this is where I can say better components because I don't think there's any arguing that the tone arm, the stylus, the counterweight all add to a better record playing experience.
It's more customizable.
Yeah. So I don't want to say it's a better turntable, but it's got better components. You can interpret that how you will. Anyways, at this point, I was okay with putting it cost $300 for that turntable, and I was at that point where I'm like, yeah, I've invested enough into this hobby where I'm fine spending that much on a turntable. So I also this one had a preamp as well, so I didn't have to worry about buying a separate amp. And then you can see right here behind me, I bought this Marshall Wolverine speaker to go with it. Once again, it's a powered speaker, so I'm using RCA cable to connect that to my LP120, and sounds fine to me. I think eventually I might upgrade to a better preamp, just because I don't feel like I'm getting as much volume out of the speaker as I could. Like I want there to be more gain. Like when I stream music from my phone onto my Wolverine, because it's Bluetooth, there is a very noticeable difference between how loud the volume can get when I stream something from my phone through the speaker as compared to how loud it can get through my record player.
Interesting.
So I'm thinking there might be an issue with the preamp, but I'm not very sure. I haven't done a whole lot of research, but
that's fair.
So once again, LP120 has really good reviews, somewhat affordable, especially for like beginners to intermediate like me. And it just it had everything I needed. So that's why I went with the LP120, and I've been super happy with it. And we still got the 60. It's upstairs now. It's something my wife uses now for her budding collection. But so that's my journey so far.
Love
I
it.
really don't see it going any further than that because like there's record players, thousands of dollars you can go up to.
Oh yeah.
Like, and if you get like something custom built to where it doesn't even almost look like a record player,
those are
lots of money. They're
yeah.
cool as hell, but they're
Absolutely
expensive as hell. What was I just gonna say? Shoot, I can't remember. Oh, one thing I wanted to say is we both have Audio Technicas. That's a fairly popular and reliable brand to get turntables from. Some others out there are like U-Turn is another one that lots of people
very
get.
popular.
Are U-Turns? They're belt driven, right?
Yes, they are.
For the most part, they're belt driven. So they got kind of a. What I like about the U-Turns is like the minimalist style of it.
Yep.
Like,
and they are customizable. You can pick what color they are. You can pick how it looks. Yeah.
And they got good reviews, fairly reliable.
That is the downside of Audio Technica. You got two options if you want color. So
silver and black.
Yep. So if you do want something that's not silver and black, U-Turn tends to be where people tend to go.
But belt driven, I think they got some of their tone arms are like carbon fiber, like what they use on the Iron Man suit. I don't know.
Because Iron Man, what they had to do, they had to disassemble Iron Man's suit in order to be able to make more turntables. That's why he got kicked out of those movies. Yeah.
What's the stuff from Wakanda? What's that stuff called?
Oh, adamantium? No,
that's Wolverine's claws.
That's Wolverine. Yeah.
Shoot, why can't we remember this?
Yeah, we're huge nerds too.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, of course. The material that they mine underground.
Yeah, it's made of that stuff. It's what
I'm gonna be so mad.
Winter Soldier's arm.
I'm gonna be so mad if we can't think of this. Gosh, dang it!
I know
everybody listening. Yeah, everybody's screaming right now.
Anyways,
oh well, whatever.
It'll come up. I have a phone. I can look it up if I really want to.
I do want to say also, just with turntables, real fast. Record collectors, we do tend to be a passionate group, and sometimes this subject can offer some very strong opinions from people that are simply using word of mouth as their opinions. I would always say trust the people that have actually had the turntable you're talking to. For example, I have heard many people trash Victrolas that have never had a Victrola. I've been told many times that because I used one, my records are ruined forever, and they are not. So just be careful. Just because someone's loud and passionate on the internet doesn't mean they're smart.
Yeah. And speaking of which, that's another... If you're, once again, casual collector, just looking to get your feet wet into the record collecting hobby, those suitcase player ones,
do whatever.
Yeah, just if that's what you can afford, do it. Once again, you're buying a $50 suitcase record player, so don't expect the world from it.
Oh yeah.
But if you're also someone who has a $300 Audio-Technica LP120, don't badmouth someone who's just trying to explore the hobby, and that's what they got.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
simple way to wrap all this up is don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Just be nice. Yeah.
In all things. There's one more brand.
In fact, oh my gosh, look how funny this is.
Oh yeah. From
Don't be a no, right there. Don't be a dick.
Yeah, from Graywell. That's a Graywell sticker.
See, look at that.
Give me 1 second here.
Okay.
There was one more brand.
Have you heard of Fluence?
Fluence, I think.
Fluence is the next one that I'm like, that's pretty fine, man. They make some bomb stuff.
Project, I think, was the other one.
Oh, Project is huge, yeah.
So those are some of them, like for like beginner to intermediate. Yeah, and even then they can get up like $500+.
I was going to say like those. I would say stuff like Fluence is intermediate to advanced, because advanced doesn't just mean expensive. Like advanced just means it's really bomb. Yes, there are some super costly advanced ones, but some like Fluences, they're great.
Yeah, and with these other record players, like considering like does it have a preamp? What kind of belt drive does it have? Or motor drive? Just all things to consider, and whatever you want for you, what do you think will work best, and what you want. Those are some of the things you should look into. Another corner of this whole setup thing I want to talk about next, which I think is a really important part of turntables, is the stylus.
Yes, the needle is what he's referring to.
The needle, yeah, the needle that goes down and touches onto the record that absorbs the vibrations. Yeah. So I was doing research on this too, just a quick 101 thing. So there's like 4 different types of stylus. Shoot, let me look it up real quick. I know we've got elliptical. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me find it right here. Where'd you go?
Where'd you go?
Here we go. I found it.
I miss you so. Okay.
So we got spherical, elliptical, hyper elliptical, and micro ridge. So I'm not going to get all the details about those, but just so you know, those are the different kinds that are out there. And then for Stylus, I don't know, another kind of one-on-one thing is the part that actually touches the record, like the needle itself is like diamond. They've got what's called either a nude diamond, where the entire pointy thing is a diamond. They also have a diamond tip, where the rod part of it, the long part of it's like made out of some kind of metal, and then just the tip is a diamond. I think most of them are diamond tip, unless you're buying a really nice.
Exactly.
And then when it comes to cartridges, which is what the Stylus, the whole part of the package is. What's the difference between Stylus and cartridge? What, like, is that the same thing?
Because the cartridge, I believe, is like all of the whole front of it, right?
And then the Stylus is just the
Stylus
needle?
Is literally just the needle.
Just the needle part. Okay, so the whole cartridge,
all the wires and everything that are in that.
The main like there's two main classifications for the most part. Once again, you can get into really expensive, fancy things, but there's moving magnet and moving coil cartridges. And basically, what happens is there's the thing that the needle's connected to. It's connected to like a middle piece that goes into all this stuff. Why is the word catheter coming up? That's not the word. It's not a catheter.
Hey guys, I need to
a catheter.
I need to replace the catheter on my record player. What recommendations do you all have? The worst part of cleaning the catheter on your turntable is just the mess. You know what I mean? Oh.
Here you go. It's cantilever. That's what it's called. The part that the diamond head's connected.
Okay, that's like a catheter.
Yeah, cantilever goes into this housing, and if it's a moving magnet, then the magnet's on the other end of the catheter, and when it goes through the grooves, it like moves a little bit, and then there's coils, and like it creates, I don't know, energy somehow, and that goes through the. It's crazy.
Magic.
So that's a moving. Yeah. That's a moving magnet. If your catheter. That's a magnet.
Do you know what's so funny, Stooge? Is that this thing you're doing could also work for how a catheter works. This is your ureter.
I wish they were this small. I hear they're not. I've never had to do one, but anyway, so it doesn't sound fun.
Yeah.
It's kind of a dirty visual, huh? And then for a moving coil, it's just reversed. On the end of the cartilever, whatever it's called, there's coils, and then the magnets are on the sides, and then the coil moves and the magnets. Anyways, it's getting really technical. It's 101. I just thought it was really cool because I did a lot of research for this. So when I got my LP 120, it came with like a basic what do you call that?
The basic needle.
Basic needle. What's the other? What's the big part of it that we were just talking about?
The cartridge.
Cartridge. There you go. And so I actually upgraded mine to an Ortophone 2 in red.
I've heard great things.
And it was $100, so that's 1/3 of what the turntable cost. But
it's the most important part of the turntable. Like,
but totally worth it. So I like warmer sounds. Like I don't like a whole ton of detail. Like, of course, I want to hear the details, but I like a warmer sound with my music. And so this is really great. I do notice the difference between this and the original cartridge that came with my player. And I'm not an audiophile. I also noticed a huge reduction in surface noise and pops and clicks.
Oh wow.
So it's if you whatever record player you have, if you can take out you can swap out your cartridge, I 100% recommend the Ortophone red, whatever it's called. But
also, just a quick taking care of stuff. Make sure you clean your needles and replace them when needed, because that change. Like most people that have like sound problems, almost always it's needle stuff. Almost any cleaning kit for records comes with a needle cleaner. They're super easy, and you can see on like Amazon how often you should be changing out your needle based on listening hours. So just change them out occasionally. It's not that expensive. Like if you're looking to replace the whole cartridge, it's gonna be a bit, but like the actual just the stylus is not that much money.
And I think including on that, like clean up your records too, because that's where you'll
Of
get a lot
course.
of the dirt from is when it's running
Of
through.
course.
If you get a record that's dirty, because I've seen it happen before on my old LP 160. I played a bargain bin record, new collector, then I'm not gonna clean this. And I put it on. I could see there's a little bit of dust on it. Anyways, like halfway through side one, I'm starting to notice the sound's it's starting to fade a little bit and getting a little more scratchy. And I look down at my record player and the Stylus. There's like, you know,
Like a trail of hair.
Pile of dirt in front of the needle. Like, oh gosh, dang. So
yeah, man, they'll like drag threads. It's so crazy. Yeah.
So yeah, definitely clean your records for that purpose. It'll
up,
prolong the life of your stylus and everything. So.
And cleaning kits are so cheap. It's not hard to clean records. Yeah.
No, unless you just hate cleaning in general. So yeah, do you have the stylus that came with the LP 120, or have you upgraded?
Yeah, I've just replaced the stylus over and over again because I'm thinking about upgrading the cartridge, but I just haven't like pulled the trigger on anything yet. So
gotcha.
I replaced my speakers recently, and that was more important to me than the cartridge. So
gotcha. Yeah. Last thing I want to talk about with turntables, last component I feel like is important, is the slip mat.
Yes,
because that's another part of another piece of the puzzle I feel can have an influence on your listening experience.
Oh, not even you feel. That's just science. Slip mats are like 99% of how things can sound.
Yeah, it can have an impact. And so what I wanted to do real quick before I let you give your opinion on these.
Okay, because I've got thoughts.
Yeah, I understand you have thoughts. So, generally speaking, most turntables you buy, box turntables, they're going to come with a felt slip mat, just like a cloth type of material.
So real quick, that actually just depends on the brand. A lot of people also include rubber ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll cover both of those. So felt slip mat, both the ones I bought from Audio Technica came with felt
Audio
slip
Technica
mats.
always throws in felt.
They're great because they're soft surface. You're going to be harder times scratching your records on that surface. Some of the cons though, one thing that I hated is that every time I picked up my damn record off the felt mat, the mat came up with the record because of the static.
Absolutely.
It's so annoying. Every single time it would come up with the record. So that was annoying. Another thing, I had black flip mat. You get different colors.
Yeah.
But for my colored variants on a black felt mat, it doesn't matter the material. If it's a black mat, if you got a color variant, it's not showing off those colors really good.
Nah.
So whatever style you get, I really suggest getting a white one because that white really makes the colors pop. So felt mat. Another one is cork. Cork's really popular. I hear that gives like a better sound. I hear that cork's, as far as sound quality, is one of the better ones to go with. And they make all sorts of cool stuff too. You get cool designs on them. They're getting really fancy with them. And then we have a leather mat. I don't know much about leather. Rubber, like you said, someone come with rubber. Yeah. I think rubber's really good because it absorbs a lot of vibration that could be caused by anything else that's going on with your system. The one I actually have though is an acrylic slip mat. So those are actually really popular as well, and got really good reviews for helping to, reduce any kind of resonance or vibrations going up into the stylus and tone arm. But the main reason I got mine is because it's white, and I wanted to show off. I wanted to show off my records. Yeah, so that's the main reason I got mine.
We're such social media people.
When I take my record off, not once has that mat come up with it. So that's the other reason.
So. Yeah, man. Slip mats, they're a thing because they do for sure control a lot of how it sounds, but also just the static of slip mats controls a lot of how everything sounds. That's why I'm so passionate about this, because maybe I'm just nuts, but static drives me wild. I hate how static can destroy sound. So in fact, okay, we're gonna go on an adventure with my phone, everybody. You ready for this? As you can see on my wall, I have several slip mats that I have used over the years.
Wow.
Because like Stooge was saying, they can customize them. So those are 3 felt slip mats. And you know what they're good for? Display and nothing else. Because same thing, when the only one I've ever used on my turntable is this one in the middle. It's by the band Can't Swim. And anytime I would lift it up, it would pop and crack with static, and then the stupid slip mat would come up with it. And it was not even worth it. Yes, it does look cool for sure. But it wasn't worth the effort and the struggle. And I also start off with a rubber one that just came with all my turntables. I do still think that while not the prettiest, the rubber ones are the best at getting rid of static. Like they're free and I never have static issues. However, they're just ugly as I'll get out. So I've done rubber and I've done felt. And then after doing felt, I tried a cork one and I didn't love it. I still have it. It just sits right here. But like, it didn't really help with static. I did notice a change in the sound, but like that was pretty much it. And the cork ones are cheap. So that is an appeal. They're a lot cheaper.
My main thing is most of them are like that tan color, and that's what's a no for me. I'm sure you can get them other colors. I just haven't looked a lot.
Yeah, mine's just the cork color. And
even
it's
the
hideous.
feel of it, I wasn't like a fan of it. So
exactly. I don't like it. Luckily, same thing. It wasn't expensive, so I didn't feel bad when I was like, I don't like this. But then I got my white acrylic one, just like you. It's great. Yeah. It helps with sound. There's hardly any static problems now, and it's pretty. It's so pretty.
It's like the vertical lines of slip mats.
Exactly.
Everything looked nice.
Exactly. You can tell we're such like stupid Instagram people because we're like, oh yeah, white acrylic, it looks so good.
My records look so pretty.
My records look beautiful. In fact, like I don't know if you've ever seen them, but I'm sure you have. There's tons of TikToks on what it's like to have a regular slip mat and then the white acrylic one where they'll compare translucent records.
I've done that, yeah.
Yeah, they look so good. So like, and I'm a firm believer too. They look great. They sound great. And also, like you said, with the white acrylic one, there's so less maintenance. It doesn't come up ever. You don't have to like with felt, you do have to be a little bit careful about like cleaning it more. With acrylic, nothing ever gets on it. So I love it.
Yeah. That's another drawback to the felts is they absorb dust. Like they attract
it like
so
it's
you got to
crazy.
make sure you clean your records. Whereas like acrylic and some of these other stuff, not as much. Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you have anything else you wanted to say about slip mats? So I think that was a good intro to turntables. I think next week we should talk about like the audio portion of the setup. And maybe if we want to turn into a 3-part series, I was just thinking like accessories. We could talk about certain accessories
that's a great idea.
Like record weights, cleaning kits.
I get asked all the time about my anti-static brush.
Yeah, your anti-static brush, just that kind of stuff. And I think that would be pretty cool.
Yep, let's do it.
The trilogy, brother.
The trilogy. This was Fellowship of the Ring. So get ready for the other two.
Oh, the Fellowship of the Ring. I was thinking, it's probably like sequel Star Wars trilogy quality, but anyways, I hope it was helpful.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Get ready for the Wrath of Khan, apparently, everybody. Yeah.
What?
That's Star Trek.
Yeah, I know. Anyway.
Great. Anyway.
Well, shoot, I feel like I've been talking a lot. Now it's my turn to talk again. Are you ready to transition from the topic into the game?
All right, I'll talk just a little bit more. Hi, everybody. My name is Chris. And there we go. Really quick, I want to show. Can I show everyone the drawing I did of us?
Yeah, you can show them.
Okay.
For those who are watching.
If you're watching, if you're just listening to this, you're going to hate it. But I drew a picture of me and Stooge. That's it. That's all I wanted to show.
I'm way too thin in that picture.
This is like when I had my coloring book page and I wanted to show everybody.
Hold that up again. Hold that up. Like, I feel like the person who's supposed to be me holding up the record, I feel like that guy's name is Todd. That looks like a Todd, doesn't it?
Todd?
It doesn't look like a vinyl Stooge.
There you go. Okay,
totally
I'm sorry. I'm sorry it doesn't look like you. I'm sorry that I tried just drawing us because we're brothers and friends and whatever. Podcast is over, everybody.
Been canceled.
All right.
Episode 13 did it.
Keep going, though. Let's go to our game.
All right. On to the game. So once again, just you and me. We're going to do some trivia on an artist. And the angle of my camera has been such that the hint I normally give is obscured. So I will count down from 3, and then I'll move over and let you know today's artist that we will be doing trivia on is none other than 3, 2, 1, the Beastie Boys.
Oh, sick.
So I wanted to get a little more hip. I love hip hop. I know hip hop's not so much your thing, but I wanted to incorporate a little bit more hip hop. See if we can't, reach out to the hip hop genre. And so to the hip hop crowd, maybe
to the hip hop genre. Yeah.
So I know you're widely unfamiliar with hip hop.
I am, but I'm
you
but
know,
I'm
like
not I'm
Iggy
not
Azalea.
I'm not like super unfamiliar. Iggy Azalea, yeah, she's my
Yeah,
favorite. Probably
she's your favorite
MGK.
hip hop
Yeah.
artist.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Machine Gun Kelly.
I figured, you out of all the hip hop artists, I think Beastie Boys might be the one you're most comfortable with.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think I love the Beastie Boys.
Yes, you do.
So I think it'll be a good little thing just to kind
Absolutely.
of honestly in the whole culture of hip hop. They've had a big influence, but we're just dabbing our toes a little bit into what hip hop culture is too.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
It's,
Don't they have like the most top selling hip hop album of all time? Or one of them at least? Like
I don't know.
Okay,
they have the first hip hop album that reached the top of
maybe
the
that's
Billboard
what
100.
it is. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, sorry.
But
I sabotaged that
culture. Yeah, nice. There's a whole other part of hip hop culture that the Beastie Boys can't even touch because, unfortunately, I mean, not to make it about race, but hip hop was originally it comes from
African American communities. Absolutely.
So I was nervous picking the Beastie Boys as the intro because I'm like, oh, whitewashing hip hop. Which, anyways, I love all hip hop. The only reason I picked Beastie Boys, so I'm afraid Chris wouldn't know.
Seriously, like
he would miss all of it.
Yeah, and I must emphasize, Stooge really is very well versed in hip hop. If you've never seen our show before, because you feel like he's referenced it every time. So please don't think we're whitewashing a community. We very much are familiar.
I don't want to say I'm well versed. I want to say I'm more than average, but nowhere near where I wish I was. So
fair. That's just me in life.
Anyways,
I know enough, but I don't not anywhere where I wish I was. Yeah.
Yep. Jack of all trades, right?
Yeah, totally.
All right. So Beastie Boys.
Okay.
Love these guys.
Beastie Boys. Let's do this. I'm gonna start keeping my points because I know I'm not gonna get any.
Dang it! I didn't do it again. I feel so stupid.
Oh, where you hadn't come up with your things.
Yeah.
Okay, that's okay. We can think of it.
So, trying to think of songs.
If I get 5 or less, I'm a brass monkey.
Good job. Good job. Yes. And if you get 5 or you said 5 or less, right? Brass monkey.
5 or less is brass monkey. Yeah.
If you get 5 or more, you're Paul Revere. How about that?
Love it. Okay.
All right. So here we go. Question number 1.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Can you name me all 3 members of the Beastie Boys?
I cannot.
Can you name any of them?
Adam's one of them, right?
Actually, Adam is 2 of them. Do you know their stage names?
No. I just know there's an Adam in the Beastie Boys. I'm so sorry I messed this up so bad already.
Adam Yauch is probably who you're more familiar with.
Sure.
He's the one who passed away about a decade ago from cancer. Yeah. So Adam Yauch, because we've talked about him quite a bit. And then there's Adam Horowitz, who's also. So Adam Yauch is MCA. That's his stage name.
Oh, okay.
MCA. And then Adam Horowitz is Ad Rock. MCA, Ad Rock. And then Michael Diamond is the last one. And he goes by Mike D.
Mike D. Well, there you go.
So
could not have gotten that one. Yeah.
So you got
I don't have any points. I have no points.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Okay.
How many studio albums have they had?
6.
Oh, not bad. You're close. It's 8 actually.
Oh, okay.
8 studio albums.
Yeah,
according to Wikipedia.
Ooh, we can't trust Wikipedias.
So 0 for 2. You're looking like you're going to be a brass monkey, but we'll see.
Sick.
How many of those albums can you name? I think you do okay on this one, right?
I can't name a single Beastie Boys album.
You're breaking my heart right now.
I know. I don't know any of their albums' names by heart. I'm so sorry. There's
not a single one.
There's one about a street or a corner.
It's actually about a store, but continue.
A store. I mean, I was on the right track.
It's got a street corner on the album. Yes,
that's what it is.
So you could picture the album. It's their second album. It's a street corner. There's a store. It's got a sign on the sign.
Called Exile on Main Street.
It
is called Kim's Convenience. It is called. I don't know, dude. I can't name any of their albums. I'm so sorry.
Man. You can't even name the first one, bro.
No. Is it called the Beastie Boys?
No, it's not called the Beastie Boys.
Well, then I can't name it.
Oh man. Okay, I'm glad we're having this because you need to be educated.
Okay,
here we go. First one, License to Ill.
Well, there you go.
It's got No Sleep Till Brooklyn, Fight for Your Right, Brass Monkey, which is
Okay.
why I thought you might get it.
Yeah, my bad.
Second one that you were just thinking of, the Street Corner, is actually called Paul's Boutique.
That's what it is. Kim's Convenience. I was close.
Then we got Check Your Head. Another one I'm surprised you know, Ill Communication. That's what's got Sabotage on it.
Don't know that one at all. Couldn't have told you that. Yeah.
Hello Nasty. Have you heard Hello Nasty?
No. That's
all right.
Name, though.
Then we've got two lesser known, To the Five Boroughs and The Mix Up. And then their final album, which came out in 2011, The Hot Sauce Committee Part 2.
The Hot Sauce Committee Part 2.
Yeah.
What a great name.
Yeah.
I've never heard that. That's great.
All right. Here we go. Next question.
Okay.
0 for 3.
Yeah. Doing real well.
All right. On their first major tour, the Beastie Boys were the opening act for this famous pop star.
Okay. Michael Jackson. Madonna. That's not the right
You got
answer.
it. You got it, Madonna.
Was it Madonna?
It was Madonna.
I am shocked by that. The Beastie Boys opened for Madonna.
Yeah.
How odd. How odd.
Yep.
Well, hey guys, I didn't get 0.
So there you go. They opened for Madonna.
What a weird show that would have been.
Yeah. What year? You're not going to know this.
Okay.
What year did License to Ill come out? That's their first album.
1983.
Ooh, you're off just a little. You're a little early. It's
1985.
Still a little early.
1971.
1986. And this bar was there. So
What
it's
is it?
1986. It's 1986.
Oh, well, dang it.
Yeah. So yeah, this is hopefully the people listening are getting some of these, you know?
Yeah. So that you feel some kind of validation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I think we should put a poll out there. Like, should we keep doing trivia?
Here's the poll. Does Waffles deserve rights? Because he doesn't know the Beastie Boys.
All right. So which label was Licensed to Ill released on? Like which record label?
You know how bad I am with labels.
Come on, just think of famous, popular hip hop labels.
Def Jam Records.
There you go. You got it.
No way. See, kids, I'm doing just fine. I'm gonna get all 10 of these.
You've got two.
I'm gonna get all 10 of them.
Okay. So when Beastie Boys came out with License to Ill album and they were touring, Michael Diamond, he was really popular for wearing this car manufacturer's emblem around his necklace. Which car manufacturer was that?
It he wore like a hood ornament.
Yeah, he wore a hood ornament. Which
around
one did he
his
wear?
neck.
Around his neck.
Honda.
Honda?
Who was it, dude? I don't know.
You don't know? Let me pull up an image for you real quick.
You must also realize I know basically nothing about cars.
There we go. That's pretty big. Can you see it?
No. Oh, is it Volkswagen?
It was Volkswagen.
Oh, well, there you go. Good for Mike D.
Good for Mike T. I don't think he got any money for that either. So it was like free advertising. I could be wrong. All right, let me go back to the quiz.
Okay. Here we go.
This one's going to be tough, maybe.
Volkswagen. Okay.
In 1994,
Okay.
Adam Yauch, also known as Adam Yauch, I have so much trouble saying that, also known as MCA.
Yeah.
He organized this concert in order to raise awareness of human rights abuses by the Chinese government on this country.
So wait, is it the concert or the country? I'm trying to answer.
The name of the country's in the concert series.
Oh,
so
okay.
if you just kind of guess, if you guess the country, I'll give it to you.
Tunisia. Okay, here we go.
It starts with the T.
Tibet.
There you go.
Because of China treats Tibet terribly. So
Tibet Freedom
the concert. Oh, the Tibet Freedom Concert.
I'll
at that.
Since you guessed the country.
You guys, I'm doing so good.
All right. Here we go. This one you might have a chance just because anyways. So
I can't stand it. I know you planned it.
Off the Hot Sauce Committee, their main single off the Hot Sauce Committee is called Make Some Noise. It's a freaking bop.
It's a freaking bop.
So they made a music video for it. And they've got 3 famous actors and comedians to portray the Beastie Boys in this music video. Can you name which 3 actors/comedians portrayed the Beastie Boys?
John Belushi, Chris Farley, and
this is their last. Though both of them were dead.
Kidding. That was the point. So they're famous comedians and actors in 2011 that portrayed the Beastie Boys.
Yes, I'll give you a hint too.
If any kind of hint would help.
You have referenced a movie during this podcast that one of these actors is the main character in.
Adam Sandler. I don't remember what movie I referenced. What movie have I freaking referenced?
When we
in this
talked
episode?
about
John
Trilogy.
Cusack? No, we talked about Trilogy. We've actually referenced a lot of movies, and we're talking
Really
about
have,
this.
huh? Yeah.
We talked about Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, and Star Trek. And there's no comedians in Star Trek.
Yeah, that's why I say comedians and actors.
Yeah. Who's a comedian in Star Wars and Lord of the Rings?
It's not. Yeah. No,
Lord of the Rings?
it's not a comedian. This is the one that's an actor. He's not traditionally
Elijah
a comedian,
Wood.
One. You got it. Elijah Wood's one of them.
Who did he play?
I want to say he was Mike D.
Oh, fair.
Or was he Adam? No, he was Adam Horowitz.
Elijah Wood. That's crazy. And then the other two.
The other two are comedians. Like they play funny movies almost
David
exclusively.
Spade. Mike Myers.
Did you stop watching comedies in the 90s? Like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, who was funny in 2011?
One's got a very famous laugh.
Oh, Seth Rogen.
Yeah, Seth Rogen.
Good Seth Rogen laugh.
No, I don't think that was good.
Dude.
That was
was great.
People
I
are gonna
knew who it was
off.
immediately. So that shows it was good. And then the other person was James Franco.
Close. It is another one. I mean, is there any other comedians you can name that are associated with Seth Rogen?
Steve Carell. Man, I feel like you've got like a carrot on a stick and you're just trying to get me just a little bit more. Who is it?
Do you just want me to tell you what it is?
Just tell who was it?
It's Danny McBride.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't have thought of him. I would not have thought of Danny McBride.
All right, here we go.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive.
Oh, well, there you go.
Which band member? So you got 1 of 3 chances here.
Yes.
Which band member was arrested in England during their License to Ill tour for assault?
MCA.
Do you really think it's MCA? Adam Yolk's like the godfather leader of the group who organized a Tibet freedom concert. Do you think he's going to get arrested for assault?
Man, you give a 1 in 3 choice and all of a sudden you get attacked? Holy shnikes.
I'm just saying, think about it.
Okay, it's not NCA. That's all. Yeah, I can understand that. It's not MCA. Okay.
It's not MCA.
It's one of the other two.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of their names.
Mike D and Ad Rock. One of those.
I'm gonna say it was Ad Rock.
There you go. You got it.
I'm not giving myself a point. Don't worry.
All right. How many Grammy noms and wins do they have?
This is the hardest one you do. Besides labels. I will say 7 noms and 3 wins.
You get half point. They have 3 wins.
Hey,
good job.
Look at that. How many nominations do they have?
10. They had 10 noms.
Wow.
Yep.
Good for them.
None of them were for License to Ill, too, believe it or not.
That's crazy.
All right, last question for 10 points.
Whoa.
Can you name Stooge's favorite Beastie Boys song?
Paul Revere.
I will give you a second chance.
It's not Paul Revere.
It is not.
Wait, will you just look in the camera really fast? Intergalactic. It's Sabotage. It's Fight for Your Right to Party. Was it Sabotage?
It is Sabotage. I know it's super basic, but
it's
the
the best
freaking
one.
jam. Dude.
Yeah.
It just gets people going.
Absolutely.
And it's like the least hip hoppiest song.
Oh yeah, it's the most like hard rock the Beastie Boys went. Yeah, man, that rules.
Anyway, so you
I
are a brass monkey.
I got 3.5 points. So
3.5.
I'm a brass monkey.
You are
That
a brass monkey.
Funky monkey. Yeah.
And cheers to you, sir. Let me turn the label around. cheers to you, sir, for breaking my heart and not knowing a single Beastie Boys album. Clink.
You're welcome.
All
I just splashed it on my freaking face. Do you see that? It's on my glasses.
Oh, wow.
That was a hard cheers, Bretta. We cheers so hard, it's all over me. Well, there you go.
It's getting a little dirty. A little
It's Monster Energy, so I'm sure it's gonna burn through my clothes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's like that's like the opposite of holy water.
Yeah, exactly. It's devil's liquid. All right, kids, we got some Q&A.
Have you watched any of the YouTube videos on the Monster energy drinks label and how like it is?
Oh, it's like the sign of the devil or whatever. Yeah, for sure. Hilarious.
You've been down that rabbit hole before.
Absolutely. I love exploring YouTube rabbit holes. It's
guess I should have guessed when you were asking me about the Fresno wind takers or whatever they're called.
Nightwalkers. Yeah, for sure. There's great footage. Let's do some Q&A.
Let's do it.
If anybody kept listening up until this point, you will get money for it. We got some good ones, and there's some ones that specifically for Stooge.
Ooh.
So the man's going to get some questions. The first one comes from our buddy Zat Vinyl. Z-A-T Vinyl.
Oh, Z-A-T. I was going to say Zat. But
Zat.
it's Zat. Like you got
Vinyl.
Zat.
Like you got Zat. Like you got Zat Vinyl.
Like a French guy was sitting down. I sat down.
Yeah, or when you're at the record store and a French guy wants what you have and he says, I want Zat.
I want Zat Vinyl.
That's German. I want Zat Vinyl.
When Hitler gets the record. Give me that vinyl.
Hitler, it's the Joy Division. Stop. Anyway, Zat Vinyl asks us, if you owned a record store, what 3 features would it have to stand out?
We have literally talked about this.
That's why I thought it was a great question. So let's discuss, because even narrowing it down to 3 for us would be hard. We've had like a ton of ideas of what would be sick for a record store.
I mean, do you want me to start it off?
Go for it, yeah.
So definitely like the coolest, it would be the coolest place. Our record store that we've talked about before would be called Taco Records. And it would be a hybrid taco shop / record store where like half of it's like a record shop and then like another half of it you can get tacos and eat tacos. Whether, you know, like we have a street window for people just to walk by if they're not really interested in the records. And then you can have a little indoor seating spot too, you know, and but Taco Records, like that would be one part of the gimmick would be tacos. Another fun thing we thought would be funny is giving the tacos, like having specialty tacos and giving them names. Like instead of saying, "Oh, I want an Al Pastor," you'd be like, "I want the Jack White," or
there you go.
You know, I want the Jimmy Page, you know, and giving them cool, or maybe even coming up with more clever sounding punny names.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, that's that would be, I think, a really cool gimmick to get people into the door. It's like tacos
and you could have like concerts at Taco Records. That'd be great.
Yeah, we have a little stage where people can perform. Like we'll give local up and coming artists a platform.
Yeah.
And then I think the last thing was the dunk tank, right? We'd have the dunk.
Yep. Absolutely. And it's full of hot sauce. Yeah. And if you're not careful, you're going in.
But I thought Taco Records would be, and that's copyrighted, trademarks.
We've already copyrighted everyone, so you can't use that.
Yeah, we have lawyers too.
You're welcome to use like a different food. If you want to do chow mein records, go for it. But
record walk.
Well, actually, that's ours too. That's ours too. Sorry.
Open
everyone.
A chain of specialty record stores that are like,
hey, we could do a chicken and waffles one.
Yeah, we totally could.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what our record store would be.
Records.
I love that.
Like McDonald's. So you get like burger and fries, Records instead of McDonald's. Anyway,
and just get nuggets. Oh, that sounds great.
But we'd have like, you know, actual food.
I just want McDonald's nuggets. I don't care what else we do.
You should hang out with Grace. She loves. Like every time we go to McDonald's, she gets a 20-piece. She's 11. Yeah.
Also, when you're lactose intolerant, there's like 2 things you can eat at McDonald's that they won't mess up, and nuggets is one of them. So there you go. Next question. It comes from No Life Vinyl Addict.
No Life Vinyl Addict.
No Life Vinyl Addict.
Yeah.
You guys have to move your neck when you do it. No Life Vinyl Addict.
No Life. How's
No
mine?
Life
Looks like I'm
Vinyl
drunk.
Addict.
No Life Vinyl Addict.
If you each had to choose 3 albums to listen to for the rest of your lives, what 3 would it be? It's a tough question.
Death.
Death. Death is a great band, so go for it.
I picked mine out of my collection.
Smart.
I cheated. I hope no one cares that I cheated.
Too late.
It's just too hard to pick.
There's no
3
cheating,
albums.
dude. It's a fantasy scenario.
So I cheated, and this is how I feel today. I could honestly pick 3 entirely different ones tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, but first one I picked out here is the Beastie Boys' greatest hits.
Hey, that's all 3 of them.
It's on topic. Yeah. Can you name which one's which? Let's see.
The guy in the middle is the Beastie, and then the guys on the other side are the Boys.
Beastie and the Boys. Yeah,
Beastie
there you go.
The Boys.
No, but really.
Ad Rock is on the right. Adam.
You mean that one?
MCA is in the middle. And Beastie, the Beast Boy, is on the left.
You literally got all of them wrong.
That does not surprise me.
That's Adam Yauch. That's MCA.
Okay.
Mike D's in the middle, and there's Ad Rock.
Why can't I think of Mike D? That was not.
It's the easiest one.
Seriously, it's his literal name. Anyway,
so I picked this over any of their albums because I can't choose. It's like choosing my favorite kid.
Yep, absolutely.
And this has got all the hits on it. So, I guess they're written right there. But if I can only have, what the hell? Might as well go with quantity too. So
yeah.
Got all the jams.
Heck yeah.
And then the next one I picked because I got to have me some. I can't wait for them to release the greatest hits.
No.
It would be a 7 LP. Might as well just have the record.
It's just the anthology. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. El Camino by the Black Keys. Just it's got a little diversity on it. I feel like so it's that's why I chose this one over Thick Freakness because I love Thick Freakness as well. But I don't know this is the one that I decided to go with El Camino.
Yeah.
And then my last one, once again, I cheated. Sorry, but what the hell?
We gotta show it. We gotta show it.
Hits.
Yep.
I love this album. I love this cover. Dude, Led Zeppelin, Good Times, Bad Times, Dazed and Confused, Communication Breakdown, Whole Lot of Love, Immigrant Song,
all the jams.
Black Dog, Rock and Roll, Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
You've got it all right there. So
there you go.
Boom. My third one. How about you?
Love it.
Waffles.
So I was stupid and didn't even think to pull records, but that was the smart move for anybody watching.
Stupid.
My apologies.
You're dumb.
I know, seriously.
Should be
but
chicken
when I
and
was
stupid forever.
Hey, being bullied on the pod. Man, I hate how well that worked too. Dang it. That's when an insult is good. Is the person you're insulting goes, damn. That wasn't
you got me.
Bad. Yeah, got me pegged. All right. So
we're no pegging on the show, okay?
That's for the after show.
Family friendly show.
After show. We put the PG in the word peg. Anyway. Pegging 13. Pegging 13 people. Anyway, so when I was thinking of what to do for mine, I was just thinking this is no secret. I have to have variety in my music taste. I have to have stuff all over. So in thinking of variety, this is what I went with. The first one, because this album itself offers a lot of variety, is Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness by the Smashing Pumpkins. Not only does it have all kinds of sounds on it, it's also really long. That album, it had 30-ish songs, right? It had a ton of songs on it.
Yeah.
With tons of hits. But
it was
also
a 4-disc CD.
Exactly. It had tons of hits, but also just the B-sides on that record, like the deeper cuts, fantastic. There's so many good songs that aren't part of any greatest hits on for the Smashing Pumpkins. Great song off that album is Bodies. Oh my gosh. So that's one. Number 2, because I'm an emo kid that did not grow up, it would be 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge by My Chemical Romance. Because that album is fan-freaking-tastic, literal perfect in my eyes. But also just, I think if you only have 3 albums to listen to the rest of your lives, a little bit of nostalgia would be a good mix to keep things going. And then the last thing, I want just a good album to get me pumped up and keep me happy throughout the day. Because Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness isn't exactly like a happy album. Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge isn't exactly like a happy album. I gotta listen to a lot of sad music. So anyway, my third option would be
Gary Jules.
It would be what?
Gary Jules, right?
Gary Jules?
Isn't he the guy? Isn't that the name of the guy who sings Mad World off the
off of Donnie Darko?
Donnie Darko?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it would just be that song. No, it would not be that one.
Coldplay.
It would be Coldplay.
Sorry,
Milo Zoloto or whatever. It would be, there's the band Drugs, and they have their one album. So it would be Destroy, Rebuild Until God Shows by the band Drugs. Because they're just the best. Yeah. Which I should be getting that
Drugs
on
are
vinyl
the
next
best.
month. Drugs are the best, for sure. Now we have a question that is just for Stooge.
Ooh.
So get ready, everybody.
Ooh.
And this is from one of our favorite people in the world. My wife hates my records on Instagram.
Oh man.
Corey. I'm so sorry, Corey. Corey. For Stooge. Best wrestling match to show a non-fan to try and turn them into a fan.
So I try not to take too much time because I know there's not a whole lot of people who care about wrestling on the show. But as a lifelong wrestling fan,
yes,
I don't think I would show anyone matches right now because I feel like the product right now that's available is not my cup of tea, and I wouldn't want to get people into it per se right now. However, to get people into it for when it was in its glory days, like go back and watch stuff. And there's some stuff out there. I don't want to crap on wrestling too hard. Like there's some stuff out there, and if people like it, that's great. If I was trying to get someone into it to show them what how crazy and how spectacle and entertaining wrestling could be, I'd go for a gimmick match. And a gimmick's like when a match has like something about it that makes it different than just a regular match. Like, they have what's called ladder matches or falls count anywhere matches. That just adds another element to the match that makes it a little more different and exciting. They still do them every once in a while. They have these things called TLC matches that they do at the WWE. Tables, ladders, and chairs is what TLC stands for. So you can use all of these elements and into the match. And the way to win is you have to climb up a ladder, and the title, briefcase, whatever it is that you're supposed to grab is hanging above the ring. So they did this match. The second one they ever did was at WrestleMania 17. There's like 3 different teams, and they went balls out. They had tons of spots, which is like when someone does something crazy, like that you're supposed to specifically focus on. Like so many Daredevil things, it was just entertaining as hell. So I think that's one of the matches I would show because I think it's not the normal wrestling, and it was just so crazy. Like, oh, well, this is interesting. Maybe we'll see what else is available. So one more thing I want to mention, one other match or even feud, I would say, that's more recent. I don't know if anyone watches wrestling. There's a promotion called NXT. It's like a subsidiary of WWE. WWE owns it. It's like their developmental territory, kind of like where they sign recruits and they train them there before they put them on to their big shows. Anyways, I don't really watch it anymore, but there's these 2 wrestlers who are best friends. They're like best friends in real life. Their name is Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. They were a tag team called DIY, which, do it yourself. Then they had a split up. They had a breakup, like the traditional pro wrestling tag team breakup. One turns on the other, and then they start feuding. And that's what's great about, that's part of what makes wrestling great is if you can tell a really great story to go along with all the pretend action, just like a movie. It's not just like car scenes, car chases and fight scenes. Those are all great. I love that part of it too. But when you can add a compelling story or a relatable story to it, it just makes it, amazing. Absolutely. Yeah. So they had this friends to enemies storyline going into one of their main pay-per-views, which is called, it was at New Orleans. It was Takeover New Orleans. That's the name of it. And I kid you not, like wrestling's fake. It's predetermined. These guys do get hurt sometimes. And then depending, I'm sure there's people at work you work better with, and you're more comfortable with than other people. So when you get these 2 guys who are really comfortable with each other and really trust each other in the ring and stuff like that, they'll do crazy stuff. I almost
Yeah.
said. And these guys were really laying in each other. You're supposed to pull your punches in wrestling and everything like that. But like I said, when you have this kind of, there's some people who will put a little extra into it because they want to get the spotlight because they trust each other. And these guys really kind of like beat the hell out of each other. Not like really, but they did, and as much as you could without really trying to kill each other.
That's crazy.
But just to have the emotion in it, plus the story, like the revenge, like the one that got turned on got his revenge.
Yeah.
It was just a great storyline, and just a great match. And anyways, that's another one I would show. Gargano versus Ciampa, New Orleans takeover from like 5 years ago. It's been a long time now.
Super specific.
I know that's a whole lot of information that means nothing to a lot of people, but
hey,
that would be my two.
You never know who it could.
Those are my favorites. So.
Yeah, love it.
Anyways,
we have one last question to just wrap it all up. And this is a toughie.
We shouldn't end on wrestling.
You could even just answer with a yes or a no. In fact.
Oh, whoa!
This is from Nightwalker 22.
Nightwalker. That's where you thought of it.
The Fresno Nightwalker. The biggest question that has plagued mankind. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Pineapple on pizza. What are your thoughts?
What are my thoughts?
This could even be a poll if we need it to be.
It could be a poll if pineapple belongs on pizza.
Yeah.
As the way my personal views go, my personal
your beliefs, your faith,
my core value, like your
core values, morals.
Say, what the hell? Do whatever you want, and if it makes you happy, great. Personally, get that shit off my pizza. So I'm gonna say yes. Go for it. Put whatever you want on pizza. And to be honest, I'm like a pepperoni guy or a supreme guy. I don't really like the meat lover stuff because it's too much. Like there's too much greasy meat. I'll eat it, clearly. Look at me. But I like pepperoni, and if not, just a supreme pizza because I like to get like some mushroom, olive, bell pepper up on my pizza.
How are we even friends?
I don't know.
That's a great question.
I would never order a pineapple pizza.
Yeah.
But I will admit there's been a time or two where I had the opportunity to take some and I was hungry enough to do it. I'm like, this ain't that bad. It's not that bad.
Like you're starving on an island. Yeah.
I give it a hard time, but you know what? It hit the spot a time or two, you know?
Yeah.
But traditionally, no.
Okay.
I'm never going to order a Hawaiian pizza, but
fair.
To each their own.
Yeah.
I like pro wrestling, so.
You know what, though? We're pretty much the same. I think it's awful, but I'm not going to stop anybody from doing it. I'm not running a campaign
or degrade them.
Well, that's for not liking meat lovers. Meat lovers freaking rocks. But just pineapple itself, whatever. If you don't have taste, that's fine. That's on you. It's not my problem. So I'm also going to say, yes, go for it. There's worse problems in the world. But we're going to put up a poll on Instagram. Does pineapple belong on pizza? And whatever you say is what we will adapt our opinions to be. So, yeah.
You want to hear something funny?
Absolutely.
I lived in Korea for a couple of years. I think I've mentioned that before on the show. They will have certain pizzas where they actually put corn on the pizza.
Nope.
They have traditional stuff. They have pineapple.
Nope.
They've got pepperoni. They got all the stuff we got here.
No, ma'am.
I've seen a few.
No, ma'am.
Corn.
No, Pam. No collard greens. No black-eyed peas. I
never saw any kimchi pizza. That would have been interesting to see. Kimchi pizza.
Fetching awful.
But I never saw anyone put hot sauce on pizza before I went to Korea. But
really?
That's really popular. But I just never seen. I've seen ranch. Love that ranch in the pizza.
I mean, I can't eat pizza without ranch. So
yeah, we got to dip the calories and more calories and then
why
wash
would
it down
you
with
bully
calories.
me like that? Just say that it tastes good. Pizza tastes way better with ranch. It does.
It does.
Any
things taste better with ranch.
Yeah. Literally, ranch is better. Ranch is the most superior of condiments.
Life is better with ranch. That should be their slogan.
Yeah, that should be a slogan. Yeah. Maybe we should have our own version of ranch.
Deadwax ranch.
Dead ranch.
I'll see if I can get that on the Teespring.
There you go. The Deadwax ranch. Yeah. Okay, sick. Anything else you want to add to our conversation today? We'll throw up a poll about pineapple on pizza for anybody that cares.
I ordered some Deadwax logo stickers.
Oh, did you?
They should be in. So if someone wants one of those,
yeah,
message. I would say DM me because I'd be the ones that would actually send it to you. Let me know if you want one. I'll send one to you. It's just like a 4-inch sticker. It'll probably be like that big. It's just of the logo with the word Deadwax. I'm gonna go buy a bottle of Hidden Valley Ranch and I'm gonna put the sticker on it.
That's our giveaway. That's our giveaway. Is Deadwax Ranch. Sick.
What giveaway? What's this giveaway you speak of?
We're giving away Ranch.
Oh, okay.
That's all. Nothing else.
Yeah, okay. I think we should mention though too that we actually opened. I mean, or should we wait until we actually have them ourselves?
Let's wait till we have them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we can then debut them.
Yeah, we can. So once again, as always,
mysterious. Oh, I wish I could. You forgot what we just talked about.
There were no.
These are not the people you're looking for.
Exactly. As always, thank you to anybody that made it this far. This is a long one. We apologize, but
I don't apologize.
You don't apologize for anything. Yeah. You should try getting in a fight with this one. It's not going to go well. Seriously, thank you to anybody that supports us, that posts about us, that listens to us. We very much appreciate it. And believe us, we see it all. So thank you. We really, really love you all. And we want to kiss all of you on the mouths and on the foreheads. A little kiss goodnight on the forehead.
I'll go as far as the forehead.
On the nose for Stooge. He will put your whole nose in his mouth. Stooge, before we finalize everything, anything else you want to say?
Nope.
Okay. Sick. No campaign against feline AIDS this time. That's all right.
No. Nothing else I want to say. Okay. Just don't be a dick.
Amen. Don't be a dick. Be nice to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And watch the Deadwax show.
YOLO.
YOLO. Man, you are just like Danny Mcbride. You two are stuck in 2011. As always, please follow us on social media. We are the Deadwax Show on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter. We are delightful to follow. Expect some memes coming out of this episode. We talked about a lot of things. A lot of memes are going to come out of this. A lot of jokes, a lot of clips. Everything you could ever imagine. It'll be fan-freaking-tastic.
Gotta love them clips.
And as always, please follow us on TikTok and Instagram right here. We're delightful to follow. And we also post about the Deadwax Show. This is where we also get questions. So please, give us all the follows. It does not take much work. Are those your magic fingers? What is this?
Yeah, I'm trying to make it look like it's on fire, but I can't get my fingers right. That's what she said.
Yikes. Yikes.
Yeah.
Well,
let's end this show.
That's a great way to end it.
Yep.
Thank you to everybody, as always, for listening. If you made it this far, you deserve a medal because my gosh.
Word.
Oh, what's the word?
What's the word? The word for this one should be Taco Records.
Taco Records, okay. Put in the comments if you made it this far. I've noticed as we do this more and more, hardly anybody's commenting anymore. So it makes me go nobody's watching until the end, which is fine. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Understandable.
Everybody. Understandable. It makes sense when you look at us and listen to us. Thank you, everybody, for listening. As always, please, please, please get out of the groove and get into the Deadwax. We love you all so much.